Andrew Tucker, and welcome to Andrew Tucker World. What's going on, all my great people? What's going on, all my boxing fans? It's going to be a very short video. This is basically an update video. I want to apologize to all of my subscribers, to all of my fans, especially you guys I see like family. I want to apologize to you guys. I love you guys, and I want to apologize for not putting out a lot of videos lately, not putting out content lately, doing live streams. I want to apologize. There's been a lot on my plate, been going through a lot. I know there's a lot of you guys understand. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. And I know it's a lot of you guys understand, so I want to apologize to the family. But it's a lot on my plate, dealing with a few health issues. So I'm trying to get that under control. But I'm just trying to stay strong, trying to stay focused. Been taking care of family, been working, also taking care of family, dealing with my daughter when it comes to virtual learning, a virtual school. And taking care of my mom and other family members and working. What I'm saying? There's a lot on my plate. So I want to apologize to you guys. But it's going to be a very short video, man. All I got to say is this. I do go through a lot mentally and physically, but I'm still standing, I'm still strong, and I'm blessed. So you guys keep me in your prayers. But it's going to be a very short video. I want to say this. Man, it's a good fight. It's a good fight. Gary Russell Jr. versus Devin Haney. And don't worry, y'all. I got another video coming soon. When it comes to the situation with Canelo Alvarez, the lawsuit, the suit, against the DAZN and Golden Boy. So I'm gonna get into that as well. You know what I'm saying? But I want to talk about this fight, man. Gary Russell Jr. is a very, very, very skilled fighter, man. The guy has excellent hand speed. Excellent hand speed. The guy's very fast. He's good at putting his punches together. Throws a lot of punches, volume punches, well calculated. Good at putting together combinations. Good at mixing up his punches. He's like a boxer puncher. You know what I'm saying? He can box, and is he a big puncher? He can be, when he's flat-footed, honestly. But when he's more on his toes, he's not putting a lot of power behind the shots. But Gary Russell Jr. can hurt you, especially with a cumulative of punches just hitting you. He can hurt you. But he's very awkward. A very slick fighter. You know what I'm saying? With hand speed. Good. His head movement is not bad. Defense is not too bad. Good lateral. He's a good lateral mover. Good lateral movement. And like I say, he's a very skilled fighter, man. He only lost one fight, and that was a war. That fight he lost, it was a war. And that was against Vasily Lomachenko. That was a war. It was. Yes, we saw that fight. Vasily Lomachenko beat him. But he didn't dominate the fight. It was a good fight. But he didn't Vasily Lomachenko didn't dominate Gary Russell Jr. Gary Russell Jr. was in the fight. But we know the clear winner was Vasily Lomachenko. He didn't stop Gary Russell Jr. Vasily Lomachenko is a very special fighter, very skilled fighter, he's an elite fighter. I'm talking about, if I'm not mistaken, 400 and something amateur fights. Two-time Olympic gold medalist, seen so many different styles. Man, he's a tough fight for any fighter. Some fights, you can be a little off. Some fights you can not be at your best. And some fights, it can show that you're declining, but you can come back the next fight and be in better shape. Having the conditioning, good conditioning, the endurance, stamina, and just putting on a hell of a fight, putting on a great performance, and you can just be that great. and be that good next time around for that next fight. Maybe because it's a fight that you really got to prove yourself in, or it's a fight that you really got to win, a fight that is a lot on the table, is a lot on the line. It's, you know, it's just one of those fights that you have to show that you one of the best fighters pound for pound. And like honestly, like I'm gonna be honest with you, like that was like Gary Russell Jr. That's only one loss, but other than that, he was able to bounce back and win. Haven't lost ever since then. It's fighters avoiding Gary Russell Jr. I mean, we got to remember the business side of boxing. We got to remember the business side of boxing, and we got to remember politics. We got to remember all of that. So I understand why certain fights couldn't be made, why certain fights didn't happen when it comes to Gary Russell Jr. I can't say fighters was ducking this fighter, fighters was ducking that fighters. I mean, fighters was ducking this fighter, fighters was ducking that fighter. I can't say all that. I can say that, trust me, every fighter has is signed to a contract and has a promotional team behind them and has a promoter, and their team standing behind them that kind of like have control over these fighters' careers. Yes, the fighters have say so on who they want to fight, but at the end of the day, fighters don't really have control of really anything unless you're your own boss. You might have an advisor and just a manager and things of that nature, but if you have a promoter and you sign to a contract, everybody that's working with that promotion, that's working and that's connected to that promotional company, like at the end of the day, it's a lot of people behind the scenes, and they are really over these fighters' careers, like honestly. So thinking that a fighter calls the shots, no, not really. But anyways, like Devin Haney is a very special fighter, man. This is a good fight. To me, this is a 50-50 fight. Some people feel that Devin Haney is going to easily outbox Gary Russell Jr. Some people feel that Devin Haney is the better skilled fighter. You know what I'm saying? I believe this fight is going to show us, this fight is going to show us what Devin Haney is, what he's really made of. And I believe Gary Russell Jr. is the type of fighter that's going to push Devin Haney and bring out the best in Devin Haney. And we're going to see what Devin Haney is all about. I love the kid, man. The kid, when you say hard work, dedication, it's the same thing with Gary Russell Jr. But when you say hard work, dedication, the guy's dedicated to his craft, just like Gary Russell Jr. The young man is dedicated to his craft. The man is, the confidence, having that confidence, motivated, so motivated, and so educated when it comes to boxing. So motivated and so educated when it comes to boxing. So it's like, it's going to be a good fight. Both guys are going to come to fight. I believe it's going to end up being a really good fight. It's just one of those fights that, it's going to make an entertaining fight. Devin Haney is a very good counter puncher, good boxer puncher. Because he has power. He's developed that power. He's a somewhat of a big puncher, and he got good head movement, good defense. Good footwork. And he's a very slick fighter, good head, like I say, good lateral movement. He's good at countering and throwing combinations from different angles, slipping and moving. He does a lot of things well. He's still evolving as a fighter, still getting better. And it's just he's just one of those fighters, man, that is very talented. Or you can say gifted. Gifted. And reminds me, looking at him reminds me, he has the similarities. I say like the similarities like a pretty boy Floyd. The younger Floyd Mayweather, pretty boy Floyd. And then as far as the ferociousness, you can honestly say, when when a fighter takes him there, or he gets to that point, I can say it's a little bit of Roy Jones Jr. You know, and then when as far as a little bit of old school in him too, kind of reminds me of a Sugar Ray, of a Sugar Ray, Sugar Ray Leonard. You know what I mean? You know, but the kid is a very special fighter, man. Gary Russell Jr. is a very talented fighter, very skilled fighter. And I just think he is the guy that's going to really test Devin Haney. He's going to push him. He's going to test him. He's going to push him. And we're going to really see what Devin Haney is really made of. You know, I know he's a special fighter. Gary Russell Jr. is a special fighter, you know, and he only got one loss, you know what I mean? And this is a fight that is going to tell us, this is a fight that's going to tell us that Gary Russell Jr. is still here and that he still has what it takes to be the best. You know, even, you know, he still has what it takes to be the best. And he just one of those fighters, you know, as a veteran, you know, to show the young fighter, to show the young star that, listen, man, I'm gonna show you that I have the experience, that I am the better fighter, you know, and it's not gonna be easy for you. I'm gonna show you, you know, what I'm made of. I'm gonna show you, you know, that I have been here before, you know, and it's nothing new to me. You know, and I'm here to make a statement. I'm here to show the people what I'm all about, you know. And this is honestly, you know, for Devin Haney, yeah, in a way it's a step-up fight. Having a fighter like Gary Russell Jr. on his resume, you know what I'm saying, that's a good look. You know, that's a step-up fight. You know, most definitely it's a step-up fight. But it's not going to be easy. It's a 50-50 fight for me. You know, honestly, I think it's going to be an entertaining fight. You know, something telling me that Devin Haney may be a 12-round decision. You know, no unanimous, no majority, no unanimous, maybe more of like a split decision. But at the end of the day, you know, it's a 50-50 fight. Me being real and keeping it real, I wouldn't be surprised if Gary Russell Jr. won the fight. If it's a close fight, I gotta keep it real, I gotta be honest. If it's a close fight, I see it going to Devin Haney. Like, honestly. But I believe this fight could be a close fight. I believe it's gonna be an entertaining fight. And in some moments of the fight, I can see it being a war. At first being a chess match. Now, Devin Haney has the reach, good at working off his jab. You know, so, and he have the height, somewhat the height advantage. So, at the end of the day, we look at that, but at the end of the day, I know that Gary Russell, he knows how to get on the inside, make it a rough fight, make it a tough fight, you know. But Devin Haney is smart. So like I said, it's going to be a good fight. It's going to be a good fight, you know. Anyways, it's Andrew Tucker World. You guys make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll do the best I can to put out more videos, more content. On to the next one.